Have you ever questioned why the MacMahon Line is so significant in the India-China dispute? Let's take a step back to the year 1914. A convention was held in Simla, where the boundary between Tibet and British India, famously known as the MacMahon Line, was agreed upon. Named after Henry MacMahon, the chief British negotiator, this line was drawn to delimit the spheres of influence of the two countries in the eastern Himalayan region, spanning 890 kilometers from Bhutan to the Burma border. However, this line was not universally accepted. China, for instance, does not recognize the MacMahon Line, claiming the territory south of it as part of the Tibet Autonomous Region. And so, the MacMahon Line is more than just a geographical boundary. It's a marker of historical disputes and geopolitical tensions. Unraveling the India-China dispute over the MacMahon Line requires a deep dive into history. Named after Henry MacMahon, the chief British negotiator, the MacMahon Line is a boundary that demarcates Tibet from British India. It was established in the Simla Convention of 1914, tracing an 890-kilometer path from Bhutan to the Burma border. However, this line has been a bone of contention as China does not recognize it, claiming the territory south of it as part of the Tibet Autonomous Region. The roots of this dispute take us back to the 19th century when British India expanded east of Bhutan. The British, aiming for peaceful relations with the Himalayan tribes, drew an administrative line to control tribal territory. As Chinese influence over Tibet weakened, the British grew concerned about potential Russian influence, leading to an expedition to Tibet in 1904 and the signing of the Convention of Lhasa. In response, Qing China asserted control over the southeastern Kham region of Tibet, sparking British officials to advocate for the extension of British jurisdiction into the tribal territory. By 1913, British officials convened in Simla to discuss the status of Tibet. However, the final accord lacked boundary delimitations. The MacMahon Line map was signed by Tibetan and British representatives, but China did not participate. When Beijing repudiated Simla, the British and Tibetan delegates signed a note denying China any privileges under the agreement. The Tibetan government accepted the new border on the condition that China accept the Simla Convention. However, China's refusal to recognize this agreement has led to ongoing territorial disputes. Thus, the controversy over the MacMahon Line is not recent. It's deeply rooted in the history of these two nations. The dispute over the MacMahon Line has left a profound impact on India-China relations. The echoes of this disagreement have reverberated through the decades, manifesting in a series of diplomatic strains and military face-offs. The tension has not only been confined to the border regions, but it has also significantly influenced the broader geopolitical landscape. The diplomatic relations between these two behemoths have been under consistent strain due to the ongoing territorial disagreement. Regular dialogues and negotiations have often been marred by the shadow of the dispute, causing the bilateral relations to oscillate between periods of détente and tension. The dispute has also led to several military confrontations, the most notable being the Indo-China War of 1962. These skirmishes have not only raised concerns about border security, but have also led to an arms race in the region, thereby affecting regional stability. Moreover, the dispute has played a significant role in shaping the strategic alliances and partnerships in the region. It has forced the two nations to rethink their foreign policies and align themselves with other countries based on their strategic interests. The MacMahon Line dispute, therefore, is a significant factor shaping the dynamics between these two Asian giants. Why is understanding the MacMahon Line dispute so crucial, one might ask? It's more than just deciphering a line on a map. It's about tracing the threads of history, understanding the geopolitical dynamics, and recognizing the strategic interests that have shaped this dispute. When we delve into the historical context of the MacMahon Line, we see the lingering effects of colonial-era decisions that continue to reverberate even today. The line drawn by British negotiator Henry MacMahon was never fully accepted by all parties involved, resulting in a long-lasting territorial conflict between two of the world's most populous nations, India and China. Understanding the geopolitical dynamics offers us a glimpse into the nationalistic ideologies, competition for resources, and strategic interests that have fueled this dispute. It's a chess game on a grand scale, with each move echoing the past and shaping the future. Finally, Recognizing the strategic interests at play helps us understand why this dispute persists. For both India and China, the MacMahon Line is more than just a boundary. It represents territorial integrity, national pride, and strategic advantage. By comprehending these intricacies, we encourage dialogue and conflict resolution. We open the door to potential pathways towards peace, fostering an environment where mutual respect and understanding can flourish. In the end, understanding the MacMahon Line dispute is key to comprehending the larger India-China dynamics and the path to peace in the region. Let's look at some recent events that have brought the MacMahon Line dispute back into the spotlight. The year 2020 saw the most severe clashes between Indian and Chinese troops in decades, with the Galwan Valley incident resulting in casualties on both sides. This violent confrontation marked a turning point in the dispute, exacerbating tensions and heightening the urgency for resolution. Both governments have made significant statements in the wake of these events. India has reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining its territorial integrity and sovereignty. China, on the other hand, has emphasized the need for peace and tranquility along the border, but also maintains its territorial claims. The international community has responded with concern, urging both countries to exercise restraint and engage in dialogue. The United Nations has called for peaceful resolution, while other nations have expressed their support for stability in the region. These recent events underscore the ongoing relevance and complexity of the MacMahon Line dispute. They serve as a stark reminder that this isn't just a historical issue, but a live and evolving situation, with the potential to shape the future of Asia and indeed the world. As we continue to monitor the situation, it's essential to keep in mind the historical context and geopolitical dynamics we've discussed thus far. In the next scene, we'll explore potential solutions and the path forward for India and China. We've delved deep into the history and recent events surrounding the MacMahon Line dispute. Now, let's discuss potential solutions and the prospects for peace between these two Asian giants. Experts suggest that a peaceful resolution would require compromise from both sides, yet this seems unlikely given the prevailing nationalistic sentiments in both countries. Diplomatic dialogue is the most viable path forward, as military confrontation would have disastrous consequences not just for India and China, but for the entire region. There are several peacekeeping mechanisms in place, such as the Special Representatives Dialogue and the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs. These have had limited success in the past, but they remain crucial for maintaining communication and preventing escalation of conflicts. Furthermore, third-party mediation could potentially help, although both India and China have historically resisted this route. Ultimately, the resolution of the MacMahon Line dispute will depend on the political will of both nations. As we watch this situation unfold, it's crucial that we stay informed and understand the complexities involved.